We begin an inquiry into a sensitive and complex subject. We ask why some U.S. nonprofit churches, institutions often seen as pillars of morality, sometimes face corruption scandals. This is not an accusation, but a deep, probing question. Our investigation, presented here on the Scholar's Ledger, seeks understanding. We aim to explore the underlying dynamics that can lead to such troubling situations. We acknowledge the profound and vital role churches play in American society. They serve as cornerstones of community, charity, and spiritual guidance for millions. Yet, even within these sacred spaces, the potential for systemic failures exists. We must confront this reality with thoughtfulness and concern. Our goal is to shed light on these issues, not to condemn, but to foster greater integrity. U.S. nonprofit churches enjoy a unique legal standing. They are exempt from various federal and state taxes, a privilege granted due to their charitable and religious missions. This status comes with an inherent expectation of transparency and accountability. Clear accounting practices and responsible stewardship of funds are not merely good practices. They are legal and ethical requirements. Adherence to federal and state laws is paramount for maintaining public trust and their tax-exempt status. However, the very structure designed to support their mission can also create vulnerabilities. Weak oversight mechanisms can inadvertently lead to disproportionate control by a few leaders. This raises a fundamental question for our consideration. Is corruption primarily a result of individual human weakness? Or do structural gaps within these institutions contribute significantly, or perhaps both? When we speak of corruption in this context, we refer to several identifiable patterns. One common form is the misuse of funds, which involves the diversion of donations or church assets for personal gain or unauthorized purposes. Another is nepotism, where favoritism in hiring, promotions, or contracts benefits family members or close associates over qualified individuals. Inflated salaries or excessive personal benefits for leaders also represent a significant concern. This can include lavish lifestyles funded by congregational donations, far exceeding reasonable compensation for their roles. Secretive decision-making processes, lacking transparency in key organizational choices, further erode trust and accountability. It is crucial to emphasize that these issues are not universal. They do not characterize all churches. Many operate with exemplary integrity. However, the biblical call for integrity in leadership, as seen in 1 Peter 5:2, reminds us of the high standard expected of those who shepherd the flock. Several factors can contribute to the emergence of corruption within church organizations. A primary concern is limited oversight, where insufficient checks and balances allow impropriety to go unnoticed or unchallenged. The presence of charismatic leadership, where leaders are unquestioned or hold excessive power, can also create an environment ripe for abuse. A lack of transparency in how donations are handled is another significant factor. Large sums of money can be given without clear tracking or public reporting, making it difficult to monitor their proper use. Furthermore, congregational hesitation to challenge authority, often rooted in respect or spiritual deference, can inadvertently enable misconduct. We must maintain a nuanced perspective here. It is important to acknowledge that even well-intentioned leaders, operating under immense pressure and with limited accountability, can sometimes make poor decisions that lead to ethical breaches. The path to corruption is not always a deliberate, malicious choice from the outset. The consequences of corruption within a church extend far beyond financial loss. They inflict a profound emotional toll, leading to feelings of betrayal and deep disillusionment among members who have invested their faith and resources. This betrayal often results in a reluctance to give, as congregants lose trust in the institution's stewardship of their financial support. Ultimately, this can lead to the departure of members, as individuals seek spiritual homes where integrity is clearly upheld. It is crucial to make a distinction here. Personal faith is often separate from institutional failures. Many individuals maintain their faith even as they grapple with the shortcomings of human organizations. This situation raises a core question for all of us. How can we protect both the sanctity of personal faith and the imperative of accountability within these vital spiritual spaces? The challenge lies in fostering an environment where both can thrive without compromise. The path forward for churches facing or seeking to prevent corruption lies in embracing transparency and implementing robust reforms. Transparency is not merely a suggestion, it is key to preventing abuse and rebuilding trust. Churches that openly share their budgets, audit reports, and leadership compensation demonstrate a commitment to ethical governance. Positive examples exist where churches proactively adopt preventative measures. These include establishing independent boards with diverse expertise, ensuring strict legal compliance, and implementing comprehensive financial disclosure policies. Such practices are not just administrative, they are deeply ethical. Ethical leadership, therefore, is not an optional add-on, but an integral part of spiritual service. It reflects a commitment to the values the church espouses. We believe that accountability and faith can, and indeed must, harmoniously coexist within any healthy religious institution. For every American who values the role of religious institutions, certain questions become essential. We must ask, is there genuine financial transparency regarding donations and the use of funds within our churches? Do we truly understand where our contributions are going? We must also inquire about leadership accountability. Are leaders accountable to an independent board, to the wider community, or primarily to themselves? How are decisions made and who holds the ultimate authority? Furthermore, we should consider the prioritization of the church's mission. Is the stated mission consistently prioritized over personal gain or the accumulation of power by individuals? Does the institution's conduct align with its declared purpose? Finally, how does the congregation address concerns or complaints raised by its members? Is there a clear, fair, and accessible process for voicing dissent or seeking resolution? Our purpose in this discussion has been to raise questions, not to make sweeping accusations. We have sought to explore the complexities surrounding corruption in some U.S. nonprofit churches with a thoughtful and concerned approach. The challenge before us as communities and individuals is to find a delicate balance. We must balance trust in our spiritual leaders with the imperative for rigorous accountability. We must balance unwavering faith with a healthy skepticism towards unchecked power. We invite you to join this ongoing search for truth and integrity. We encourage you to subscribe to the Scholar's Ledger, share this discussion, and engage in these vital conversations within your own communities. By asking difficult questions, we can collectively work towards stronger, more transparent, and more trustworthy religious institutions for all.